Another video of Mission 90%. So in this video I have brought some of the most important and all the necessary formulas for ICSE class 10th mathematics whole chapter. So as you can see, I have a pink page on which I have written the formulas. So let us discuss all the formulas. So let's start. So first of all, let's discuss some formulas from GST. So from GST there is the first formula for you, which is of selling price. Yes, selling price is equals to discounted price, which is also equals to list price minus discount. Okay, so the difference between the list price and discount will be equal to discounted price, which is also equals to selling price. All formulas I am providing you here are important, so stay on this video. So next formula is of tax. Tax is equals to rate of tax multiplied by selling price. Third one and fourth one, both are correlated, must listen. So first of all, there is interstate GST. Okay, interstate, what does that mean? That means that if you have brought the goods, say a pen you have brought from Maharashtra and you are selling that pen to Punjab, and another is you have brought something from Rajasthan, you are selling it from Gujarat. These are some examples of interstate. So what does that mean? That means that from one state to another, that is known as interstate GST. So intrastate GST is just opposite to that, you have just brought the good from West Bengal and you are selling it at West Bengal. And very important thing, by chance some question says that you have brought something from Lucknow and you are selling it from Kanpur, you must be aware that both these cities are in Uttar Pradesh. So intra-state GST will be applicable, means from one state to that same particular state. Okay, so the next one is very important, which is net GST, which is equals to tax on profit. A way more important formula, very helpful for you all guys. Okay, so from next chapter we say there is banking, chapter number 2 from ICSE class 10th mathematics. So there is only one formula, only one, which is maturity value equals to principal into time plus principal into time, and in brackets there are n plus 1. Time you always need to take in months, remember that. Okay, or divided by 2 into 12 into rate of interest divided by over 100. So you must remember this, that time is always in months. In exams time is given in years and you need to convert it into the months. And you might have also seen that I have written somewhere in large bracket that interest. What does that mean? The formula for interest is p into n plus 1 over 2 into 12 into r over 100. So this is the formula for interest. So you have learned the formula for maturity value. Banking chapter complete. So next is shares and dividends. This chapter was reduced, but I have given you the formula. So what are those formulas? Let us discuss. So the first is sum invested. So sum invested is equals to number of shares bought multiplied by maturity value of one share. This formula is only applicable if maturity value is equals to normal value. So what is normal value? You might have studied in your classes, because these are just formulas. Okay, and these are the notes which are going to help you a lot. So what is the formula for maturity value? You know here. If in the question the formula for maturity value is not given, just apply this formula here. Okay, answer will come. So the next formula is number of shares bought. Very interesting. So number of share bought is equal to sum invested to buy the shares over maturity value of one share. So this formula, number of shares bought, is very common in exams, and it have very high chances that it will come again. So, and I want to tell you that this formula is totally dependent. Yes students, this formula is totally dependent. How? If in the question sum invested is given, so you need to use this one. If total dividend is given, then you need to apply the formula that total dividend from shares divided by dividend on one share. If income is given, if profit is given, then you need to apply total income. Income means profit. Okay, total income divided by income on one share. Again, income means profit. You need to remember that. So let's move on to shares and dividends. More formulas, 2 more formulas are there. Let us discuss them also. So first one is return percentage. We have studied 2 formulas there, and this is third one, return percentage. So it is income divided by investment. Income means profit. You need to remember this permanently. Okay, income over investment multiplied by 100, return percentage will come, which is also equals to income percentage. What is the meaning of income? Just comment me now. Just give your answer in comments. Okay, what is the meaning of income here? So next formula is total dividend earned. What is the total dividend earned? It is equals to the number of shares multiplied by normal value of a share multiplied by rate of dividend. Very important formula again this is. So you need to remember total dividend earned permanently once again. So let's move on to next chapter. Chapter 4 do not include any particular formula on which you have to focus. So let's move on to quadratic equation. Again, there are formula for them, but you need to know there is only one formula, but you need to know where it is applicable. It is changed. Okay, so if in the question it says that these roots are real and equal, if it is specially mentioned that the roots are real and equal, then you need to apply b square minus 4ac is equals to 0. Okay, so if it is given real and unequal, you need to apply b square minus 4ac greater than 0, and if imaginary is written in the question or not real is given, then you need to apply b square minus 4ac smaller than 0. Okay, so in chapter 6 there is no formula. In chapter 7, yes, ratio and proportion, there is a formula of component and dividend, a very well known formula, and which states that if it is a proportion that A is ratio B is equals to C ratio D, then you need to apply the formula if in order to verify that A plus B over A minus B is equals to C plus D over C minus D. So in chapter 8 there is a tip for you. Okay guys, so in chapter 8 there is a tip for you. What that tip is? In chapter 8, remainder and factor theorem, you know that equations are given. Let's say the equation is 2x plus 3. So what to do with that equation? Simply equate that equation with 0. Just put 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. Then solve the sum, you will get the value of x. This is a very important tip for chapter 8. Children makes mistakes in those kind of particular sums very well. So in next there is matrices. No particular formula, but there is a question for you. You know that there is b into m is equal to c. You know it very well. So tell me that the B has 1 into 2 matrices, C has 1 into 2 matrices. What will be the matrices of M? Arrows are drawn. Say 1, here is 1. 2, what will be here? And here is 2, what will be here? What is the answer of, or what is the matrices of M? Just comment me now. Just comment me now. I will give it a heart and give it a like if you correct the answer, if you given the answer correctly. Okay, so next one is arithmetic progression AP. Very important formulas, very important chapter from exam point of view. So let us discuss Tn is equals to a plus n minus 1d. And if you need to find the sum, here I have written that what are the meanings of these symbols. S is equal to sum total. Total sum means, okay, A is the first term, L is the last term, and D is the common difference. So you know that sum is equals to n over 2 in bracket A plus L. Okay, if in the question last term is given, then it is asked to find sum total, then you need to apply this one. If the last term is not given, you need to apply sum total is equals to n over 2 in bracket square bracket 2a plus n minus 1d bracket closed. Okay, these are the very important formulas, very easy chapter. If you know that how to apply and where to apply the formulas, very easy chapter. Then what is the formula for last term? It is a plus n minus 1d. Okay, the term given minus 1 into common difference, and you need to, after all, you need to add first term, you will get your last term. So there is GP. This chapter was also removed, but I have brought to you the formulas of geography. GP. Okay, so what are there? Last term is equal to a r raised to power n minus 1. B square is equals to AC, only applicable if A, B, C are in GP. Okay, so sum total is equals to a plus 1 minus r raised to power n over 1 minus r. All these abbreviations are given here, that S equals to sum total, A is the first term, L is the last term, and D is the common difference. Let me take you to chapter 12 reflection. You guys can see here I have written the formulas of cogeometry, but there is a tip for you in chapter 12 reflection. What that tip is, if x is equals to 0, that means the question is talking to you about y-axis, and if y is equals to 0, that means it is talking to you about x-axis. So this is an important formula for, you can say tip Okay, it's not a formula, it is a perfect tip for you. Children makes mistakes in these. Okay, so in chapter 12 reflection, it is a tip. Okay, so in chapter 13 section and midpoints formula, what is there? Let us say there is a line in which you have given all the coordinates of point A. Say it point A x1 y1, here is coordinate B is x2 y2. It is divided in some kind of ratio m1 is to m2, and you need to find or x and y its coordinates. So anything can come to find, anything can come. So how to solve that? There is a formula of section. What is that? X equals to m1 into x2 plus m2 into x1 over m1 plus m2. Same formula for finding y coordinate. So this is a section formula. What is the midpoint formula? How to apply this? If the ratio is the same, say 1:1 is given or no ratio is given to you, you need to find by section formula. But if the ratio is the same, it's a midpoint, you need to apply midpoint formula. But that is x equals to x1 plus x2 over 2, and for y, y1 plus y2 over 2. It's the midpoint formula. Let's move on to chapter 14, equation of a line. So equation of a line, the formula for this is y minus y1 equals to m x minus x1 as a whole multiply. So what is m? M is the slope. What is the formula for slope? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is the very short and very simple formulas that you need to remember. I hope you will remember. If you watch this video at least twice a day, you will remember these whole formulas easily. So what's next? There are 25 chapters in ICSE class 10th mathematics Selena. Okay, so chapter 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, then chapter 20 mensuration, then 21 and 22 chapter which is related to trigonometry, and 23, 4, 5 last 3 chapters related to statistics. The video is going so long, I guess 15 minutes have took. So these all formulas will be given to you in next video. So until then, subscribe this channel, like the video if you know all the formulas or if you will remember the formulas from this video, and don't forget to answer me in comment box the 2 questions I have asked to you. Let me remember you those. So the first one was, what is the meaning of income here, and the second question is, what will be the matrices of M. These are the 2 questions you need to answer me in the comment boxes. So take care until then, and must watch next video of chapter 15 to 25. 10 chapters formulas are coming to you shortly soon. Okay, so please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.